Oh shit. Here we go again.
What's happening, y'all? It's Reg, the big homie and your friend, at it one more again, trying to find a new way to win. Now, what y'all doing tonight? Me? I'm aces, trying to stay in God's graces, maybe put a few smiles on y'all faces. But y'all don't hear me though, do ya? Some of y'all do. But Trip, this story here just goes to show what I tell people every time. People don't get into power. Most people don't want power to help people. Most people who are driven to power want to control people and want to be able to do what they want to people. And we went hard on Trump for that. And don't get me wrong, I'm not a Trump fan. But Cuomo was right along with us. And come to find out, he's just as bad, if not worse. Telling you, the cover-up is usually worse than the crime. Check this out.
According to the AG's report, the governor's inner circle wasn't just top executive chamber staff. He also turned to outsiders. And the report says confidential information about some accusers was shared with those outsiders. All, the report says, to try to protect the governor at the expense of some accusers. For damage control, Cuomo turned to others for help, among them top aide Melissa DeRosa. The report says as Charlotte Bennett went public with her harassment claims, DeRosa was the one behind a plan to call Democratic county executives. The man to make those calls, Cuomo friend and COVID vaccine distribution czar Larry Schwartz. Some county execs saw an implied threat. Schwartz today said, my calls were political in nature, not about vaccines, in which distribution was based on a formula. No linkage existed, and none was discussed. Another advisor was Cuomo's own brother, CNN anchor Chris Cuomo.
I love my brother.
The AG's report says Chris Cuomo was part of a group that was regularly provided with confidential and often privileged information, all without any formal role or obligation to the state. But it was inside the executive offices that numerous Cuomo accusers say they felt like there was nowhere to go.
If you're living in a state of fear, of humiliation, the sexual harassment is actually just an additional piece onto that, right?
Former aide Lindsey Boylan says the governor's team leaked her personnel files to try to silence her. The AG's report says no one on Team Cuomo appears to have questioned, even for a moment, whether any of the governor's interactions with Ms. Boylan may have been unwelcome and offensive. The goal was to protect and attack. In an 85-page rebuttal, Cuomo lawyer Rita Glavin says Boylan was politically motivated, in part threatening retribution against the governor while she was in the midst of a primary campaign because she wrongly believed the governor had issued an executive order aimed at hurting her campaign. The AG's report also focuses on one member of Cuomo's legal team, special counsel Judy Mogul. Mogul is in part criticized for failing to act properly on Charlotte Bennett's complaint, never moving forward to report the harassment to the Employee Relations Department as required. The Attorney General yesterday.
Governor Cuomo's administration fostered a toxic workplace.
Cuomo denies any wrongdoings, and the rebuttal by Cuomo's lawyer says the AG's report is unfair, with comments taken out of context, and that they ignored the governor's testimony and substantial corroborating evidence.
That nigga lying.
Another longtime Cuomo ally named in the report is former special counsel Alfonso David. He was allegedly consulted by Team Cuomo as some accusations swirled. But last night he tweeted, after reading the AG's report, the governor should resign.
Gotcha, bitch.
Man, looking at that, I needed to smoke, man. I don't drink, so call this my scotch. But just keep these two names in mind. I think it's Maria DeRosa and Larry Schwartz. Remember when Trump got caught calling the AG in Georgia to try to change the votes? Well, Miss DeRosa went and got Mr. Schwartz
Jesus Christ.
to make the same type of phone calls. He's denying it. He's saying his call had nothing to do with that. Maybe it didn't. But the AG that he was talking to said he understood the implied threat. Whoo! Donald now finna come get dude. New York is already trying to get Donald. Whoo! He just loading the gun.
Be very, very quiet.
I'm hunting Cuomo's. And then what make it even worse is he's got an inner circle, an advisory circle of outside people that aren't in no way part of the government. Like his brother, that's the CNN anchorman, and a few other people that they really didn't go into details about their names. But they gave out personal information to these people that have no jobs with the government. And it just so happened to be the accusers.
Uh-oh, retard alert! Retard alert!
Sometimes the cover-up is way worse than the crime. But I'm telling you, I've worked with and for a lot of powerful people. I worked with the Saudi royal family. Hell, I worked at Paris Hilton's house. The one thing that I know in common with powerful men, and I mean to the level of presidential status and things like that, when you have the drive and are willing to do what it takes to get to that type of position, you stopped wanting to help people a long time ago. You want that power. And why do you want that power? To control people. Throughout all of history, the main goal has always been to control someone else. To get someone else to do your bidding at your whim. Or whim. At your whim. So don't be surprised when you see these politicians letting you guys down. It's most of them. I've been here almost 50 years, and it's mostly all of them in one way or another. What Spider-Man say? With great power comes great responsibility. Well, also, great power tends to always corrupt. Well, I'm finna get out of here. I've been on for a minute. Have a good night. Think about what I told you. It's no different what side of the aisle you're on. you're still dealing with human beings. And human beings are capable of anything. So I'm out of here. But remember the one thing I always tell y'all? We all neighbors. Peace.
Screw you guys, I'm going home.